ammo. Thank goodness. Assault rifles, ultralight materials. First one we've gotten of that. Generally, probably not the most significant for us, at least, seeing as how we are not using assault rifles ourselves, and if we're going to use that on squad mates don't care about weapon weight either. So they would never want to use that mod anyway. Yeah, so these are totally not creepy. They look a little bit like, making this up, Tron. Remind me a bit of that. More ammo. Also, thank goodness. So, legitimately, think that was, for whatever reason, or for many reasons that I actually, we've discussed many times at this point, perhaps the most difficult encounter in the game, which seems really odd, but at least it felt like it. It certainly felt like it, by a somewhat significant margin at that, no less. All right, okay, well, we can't save here, but if we saved previously, certainly hope we did, because that looks like more enemies over there. Before we head in that direction, though, is there anything over here? Doesn't seem like it. Might be able to sneak up on these guys a little bit. Tali!
Shepard, are you all right?
Boy, am I glad to see you.
I'm good.
The landing pad's right over there, but it's behind a locked gate.
Let's look for a control panel.
By the way, nice outfit. Control panel, right.
Oh, okay, Tali.
Did you really fall through a fish tank?
Sort
We'll
of.
talk about it later.
We'll talk about it
Do
later.
you remember back when you used to rescue me in the wards?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Locate the controls. We can examine a bunch of used sky cars. There's also sniper rifles, ultralight materials. Again, we're not using one ourselves, not a sniper rifle that is, and squad mates are generally going to want to be taking things that actually give them damage. We did get a free grenade after that, and full ammo actually after reuniting with Tali, and thank goodness we finally have a teammate here, and at that, a teammate with the ability to more easily deal with shields, which was one of the key problems with all those previous encounters. So, oh, that's a relief. The Scythian Stalwart, assembled by hand in fabrication tanks that are filled with filtered spring water shipped from the pure ice mountains of Imanea. The Scythian Stalwart isn't just a car, it's a life choice. That's the Scythian Motors guarantee. Manager Snakol Venher, Scythian Motors. Another used sky car here. The Scythian Dauntless. Looking for something unique? Something that will turn even your Asari neighbors green with envy? Look no further than the Scythian Dauntless. This rugged beauty doesn't just get from one glamorous vid premiere to the next. It ushers you on a cloud of smiles. The best deal in the known universe, or my name isn't Snakol Venner. Manager Snakol Venner, Scythian Motors. Another one here. Scythian Gallant. It's a Mitsubishi in disguise. Ever want to experience danger from the safety of your own sky car? Ever need to explore the vast reaches of the unknown and be home in time for dinner? The Scythian Gallant can take you there. Strong, silent, and willing to charge into battle along the most exclusive boulevards. Okay, we're not talking about like actual firefights battle. You can breathe easy with the Scythian Motors. Manager Snakol Venner, Scythian Motors. Okay. So lots of sky cars here. It does seem we're looking for the gate controls. There they are. But perhaps before doing that, we have Scythian Motors here. Is that Snackall or whatever his name was? That Volus dude right there? The owner, perhaps? Yes, sir. I would like to purchase this vehicle, please. 3 million credits? No, absolutely not. Say, if we were to drop a name, like, oh, I don't know, maybe Commander Shepard, might we get you know, just roughly like a 500% discount? There is a terminal here, a little bit of credits. Okay, so a little bit of monies. Then, it's this door you're sending us to. That doesn't look good.
Stand back.
Wait. Could you please open the gate?
Oh, he's in there. Fair play. Good call, Tali.
Thank you.
Please leave. Well, I could have done that.
Get to the extraction zone. We're also now at full HP, whereas previously we were on just 1, sometimes 2 bars. Where is said extraction zone? Presumably through this door that I thought was unlocked, but is actually not unlocked? Excuse me? Did he just not actually let us in? Rude? Sir? Good sir. Good sir. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be our escape route, was it not? Unless this is our extraction zone over here. This looks nice and open. Ah, here we are. Here we are. Oh! Those aren't friends. Also, their helmets look pretty weird. Not gonna lie. What? What? It's Rex! And making quite the entrance at that.
Rex? What are you doing here?
Just butting heads with the council over Krogan expansion.
Alright, well, that's not the last of them. There do appear to be more here. He threw us a Geth Spitfire, which we've seen once or twice before. Most recently, perhaps, on Rannoch. It is a heavy weapon that charges up, and after it does so, fires very quickly and deals a lot of damage. We have Rex in the party. Sad there's no Rex romance. Rex might be my favorite Mass Effect character. I know everybody loves Garrus, but Rex is at or near the top of my book. But he's actually in the party now. Obviously, he was a party member in Mass Effect 1. We saw him in Mass Effect 2, where he suddenly became leader of Clan Urdnot, and Mass Effect 3, we also saw him as leader of Clan Urdnot, and by extension, basically the entirety of the Krogan. But he is here, and oh, interestingly, he has already spent many of his skill points here, but I mean, we might as well build ourselves a Rex, and you take a look at the top left corner there, under his name, health almost 2,000. Barriers, just over 1,000. He is, as you might expect of a Krogan, ridiculously tanky. So, he does do a good job when it comes to, taking some of the heat off us. In terms of how we'd like to build him. So he has, for his skill set, his passives, Krogan Battlemaster, Stimulant Pack, which is a specially designed Ops Survival Pack that temporarily increases survivability and all damage output. Limited number of these packs can be carried. Technically counts as a grenade, is the way that limited stock counts. Barrier, which is a defensive ability, reinforce armor with this biotic field, detonate the field to lift and dangle nearby targets. reduce all forms of damage taken, slow down power use. Similar to what we're doing with Defense Matrix, just sort of the biotic version, whereas Defense Matrix is more so kind of like the tech version. Lift Grenade. We have seen Javik with this. Of course, it's a grenade that deals damage and biotically lifts unprotected enemies up into the air, sending them flying. And Carnage, which we've seen on James, perhaps only James. Technically, combat ability does rips a target into shreds with his vicious blast. Is an ability that Rex had dating back all the way to Mass Effect 1, so that's really fitting as well. That it's good to see he still has it. Major collateral damage to enemies nearby, effective against armor. So yeah, good damage against armor, can detonate at least fire explosions, maybe tech explosions as well. And very briefly can prime the fire explosions, but you need to detonate them almost instantaneously to make that happen. Lift Grenade can detonate, I think, anything as long as the enemy is unprotected. Barrier, technically, when you detonate it, if you detonate it, rather than recharging shields the way that the Defense Matrix does, this lifts enemies up in the air, dealing a little bit of damage and priming them for biotic combos. Might be able to detonate some things as well, but it's mostly there for the defensive buffs. Stimulant Pack, passive damage, passive survivability, and you do activate it, much like you would a grenade. And obviously, passives are passives. So, plan here for him, I think, is let's start with the passives. And so, not so surprisingly, it's health and weapon damage, as we've tended to see with other people. We can either go for even more durability and make him even tankier, but basically, the thing is, he already has ridiculously high starting health and shields, or barriers, technically. Combine that with Stimulant Pack, which helps him stay alive longer, and Barrier, which helps him take less damage, and he is ridiculously tanky. So, might not need to go that aggressively into giving him even more of the defenses here, but I think, yeah, for that reason, perhaps we do give him weapon damage here, because I think he's going to be fine. I think he's hopefully still going to be fine, pretty much no matter what defensively, as long as we don't completely leave him stranded out there. So let's take weapons damage, then it's power damage or shield recharge. So the thing with Rex is that in terms of powers, he has Stim Pack technically doesn't get its power increased by power damage because it is kind of independent from that. It would kind of be like double dipping. But we'll talk more about Stimulant Pack in a second. Barrier, if you detonate it, does give you a tiny bit of damage, but it's really just for the defensive stuff for the most part, like I said. So power damage doesn't really matter there. Lift Grenade and Carnage are the ones that are most significantly affected by that additional power damage. They are both affected by it. But Carnage, I mean, the damage is almost 500. That's not insignificant. But if you look at the recharge speed, that is reason for some caution there. Not a huge fan of using Carnage on Rex because waiting 16 seconds for it and building around that is, you're going to be waiting a long time. Whereas Lift Grenade, grenades do not have cooldowns, so damage is a little bit higher here, as you might expect of a grenade. And given how we don't have to, the duration there is for the duration of the lift, it's not the duration of a cooldown. So, more inclined to build around this, but still, I think that power damage in general may not actually be what we're looking for Rex to be doing, despite him having some access to some combat and biotic abilities. So on this occasion, we might actually go for the survivability, because decreasing the shield recharge delay is also incredibly powerful. Because that's the time you're waiting for your shield/barriers to come back once they go down, and the quicker they start regenerating, the quicker you're safe to go straight back into the heat of battle. Then squad bonus for health and shields, 20%. Many of these are at least bug-y on squad mates. I don't know if I've heard one way or the other with Rex's in particular, but for James, who has something very similar, if not potentially even identical to this, I think his is one of, if not the buggiest of all these squad effect passive abilities. Or alternatively, we can give Rex way more health and shields and give him 30% melee damage, which may actually be the way that we try to build Rex here. It's pretty tempting. So I think we do go this route. And now that'll get him up to 2,250 health, 1,350 barriers, and that number is a little deceptively low because with stim packs, as we said, you activate it, it functions similarly to a grenade. Specifically designed ops survival pack that temporarily increases survivability and all damage output. That includes melee damage. So again, we technically kind of build in Rex for melee stuff. A limited number of these packs can be carried. Then we can increase the capacity by 1. We can increase the damage bonus that affects all types of damage by 5%. So we can go for more damage. We can go for even more shields. You see there, right now, before we upgrade it any further, it gives 2,000 additional max shields. So just absurd survivability for Rex then. 20% damage across the board and lasts for 10 seconds. So, I mean, it's not infinite uptime, but with enough of these, then hopefully Rex can spam them a bit. So, yeah. For that reason, I'm thinking we go damage. I'm thinking Rex has enough survivability that we don't need to focus too much on giving him additional survivability. We can either go duration or we can go for additional packs. I mean, it's similar end result here, more uptime on the packs. Technically, the uptime might be a little bit bad. I think we might just go capacity here. The uptime means, yes, each individual pack is worth more in terms of how long we get the damage. Like, the total uptime from increasing the duration by 50% of every pack is probably more significant than just getting one additional pack. But the passive max shields and passive damage does not give you the instantaneous shield restoration, which is useful for staying alive. I mean, then again, that might not be all that necessary for Rex. Yeah, you know, we'll go duration for prioritizing just keeping the damage up as much as possible. Then weapons damage. Increase weapons damage by 15% for the duration of the power. He does have some weapons damage on his passive, but as we were saying, perhaps melee is more so the thing that we're looking for. Increase max shield bonus by 60% and melee damage by 30% for the duration of the power. I know we were saying maybe shield's not as important, but 60% is a big number, and this does come with melee damage. As we were saying, melee is in some ways the thing that Rex perhaps does best. So I think we take it. So yes, 1,350 barriers before stim packs, but once you add stim packs, that's an additional 3,200. Absurd. Just absolutely absurd. And even more absurd once you factor in that barrier will give him 15% damage reduction at this stage. This is another reason why I was thinking Carnage maybe not the best thing to build around, because barrier, much like Defense Matrix, does make it so that it takes him longer to use his abilities. He has a 60% power recharge penalty, so that makes it kind of painful to use Carnage. But we can either improve the blast effect here, which, I mean, for 162 damage is not all that significant, and that means you're getting rid of the barrier, which for the most part I think we just want to have him keep it on and benefit from the passive 15% damage reduction and not worry about damage or trying to set up any type of biotic explosions with this stuff. So I think we just go barrier strength for additional 5% damage reduction. And again, as is the case with Defense Matrix, technically speaking, that number in actuality is a little bit lower than 20%. That 20% is the number for damage reduction when in cover, because you do get some additional damage reduction when you're in cover, whereas when he's out of cover, it's actually a little bit lower than that. But I think for the most part, that's shouldn't be too much of a reason, or it's not reason enough not to take it. Power synergy, increased damage and force by 20% while barrier is active. This theoretically can make it so that offensively for other powers, Rex is packing a bigger punch while he has the barrier on. But again, I don't think we're really focusing all that much on the power damage for Rex. It's melee damage and, to a slightly lesser extent, weapons damage. So why don't we go shield regeneration? Again, maybe a little bit overkill on the survivability, but the shield regeneration and fast, or not having to wait as long for the shields to start regenerating means Rex is just going to be complete bulldozer. Then power recharge speed, reduce the power recharge speed penalty by 30%, basically cut it in half, I think, because it starts out at 60, right? Yeah. But as I was saying, I think the powers actually are not really going to be the focus for Rex, whereas 10% damage protection, just keep it on all the time, and he's going to be putting in a lot of work there. So then, one thing worth noting, we are max level, so this is all the skill points we're going to have access to here, and technically, Rex has one less maximum skill point, I believe, than any other character. or of our usual squad mates at least. So usually what we'd be able to do is fully upgrade 4 abilities and have 1 ability up to rank 4, and then that would be the maximum amount we can do with the amount of points we have. With Rex, I don't think he quite is enough for that, because Lift Grenade, let's see, would cost 4, 5, or plus 5 would be 9, and then plus 6 would be 15. Oh, so he can't quite get up to rank 6 here. Yeah, that's painful. That's painful. I would probably prefer to take a point off Carnage and get all the way up to rank 6 on Lift Grenade. What is rank 6 for Lift Grenade? So as we were saying, the Carnage, given the 16-second cooldown without Barrier on. With Barrier on, it's even slower than that. That's just not going to be reliable at all. The other thing worth noting is that because he has 2 grenade abilities, both Lift Grenade and Stimulant Pack, technically grenades, they share the same grenade capacity, which means that if you use 1 Stim Pack, that means that's 1 less Lift Grenade you can use, and vice versa. However, on the plus side, it means if you increase the maximum pack, Stim Pack capacity, you're technically also increasing the maximum Lift Grenade capacity, because they're drawing from exactly the same pool. And so if we can increase the maximum number of Lift Grenades, it means more Stim Packs too. So then, for the next level, we can either go Radius or we can go Damage. Now, already reasonably big Radius at 5 meters. 6.5 is very big. At rank 6, there is this Damage and Radius one here. So I think I would prefer, like, Radius here and Radius here is probably pretty darn excessive. So if we could get this up to rank 6, we would probably take this, and then this makes that Radius upgrade not all that meaningful. So I think we still take this, and maybe we'll get the chance at some point to reset his other abilities, because we're going to fall just shy of being able to get this up to rank 6, unfortunately. Max Grenades plus 2 or increase the power duration. That's the duration of the lifting effect. Now we're going maximum grenades for sure. So yeah, now just 5 points left. Unfortunately, we're 1 shy of being able to fully upgrade that Lift Grenade, which would be my preference. We can afford 1 more level of Carnage, which, I mean, I guess maybe we take Damage. Sure, because he has the Lift Grenade if we're looking for a high Radius ability. So we'll do that. Again, with the expectation / hope that perhaps at some point we might be able to reset his abilities to take a couple of points off Carnage and put all the points into Lift Grenade. But overall, name of the game, huge survivability from a starting HP and barrier standpoint, the passive damage reduction from barrier, and the ability to restock on shields from Stimpack, just insane. Absolutely insane. So that's great for us because we don't really like to be on the front line. Tali actually has 2 points remaining here, but we... Oh, maybe I misspoke. Maybe I miscalculated the number of points that squad mates have here. I imagine the plan was probably still to get Tali up here for drone specialist, I imagine was probably what we had planned for rank 6, rather than, having 4 points into sabotage, and, I mean, it's an option for sure, but it's just not fully charged up. I mean, so she's spent all the points she can spend here, obviously, that means, but anyways, now we are, in that case, ready to go.
Shepard, we gotta wait. Gotta hear.
Rex, I'm a professional.
That's not a yes.
So we have some Merc troopers that are rushing us down here, and we just need to get out of here. But
No.
in order to do that, we need to hold off some enemies first. Rex will kind of just do his own thing, running straight up to people. He also has no grenades, which does mean that all those grenade upgrades were perhaps not as effective as we would have hoped they would be, at least not in the short term.
On my way. Picked up Brooks. Figured you'd have a few questions.
Good call.
This guy's trying to flank us. Let's deal with him. Rex! Here I was praising you about being unkillable, and then you go and die. Almost immediately. I mean, granted, that is in large part because you didn't have any of the stim packs that we were just talking about. So that does, kinda mitigate those very attributes we were talking about before. Is this guy flanking us, like, kinda, sorta? Yes, he is definitely flanking us now.
Commander, did CSAC find you? Are you okay?
Alright, we're just gonna
No.
annihilate these guys with the Spitfire.
What?
Little busy right now.
Right.
Sorry. We'll be there soon.
So this is the heavy weapon that Rex handed us. That is also an exploding throne.
Commander, hang on.
They say they're almost here. There's also theoretically another enemy that's right on top of us. I mean, we could meta-gel to bring Rex back. We should probably meta-gel to bring Rex back.
Great place to fight it. Lots to destroy.
And this guy's basically dead. Tali! No!
Approaching your position, Commander. Just following the gunfire.
Yeah, I suppose that works. Maybe we... Oh, there's someone... Oh, that is thrown on us.
Copy that.
Sorry I'm late. Had to take the scenic route.
Scenic route? We nearly crashed 4 times.
Where is that LZ?
How the hell did you learn to drive?
I assume it's this right here.
And Brooks says hi. It's a
Oh,
shuttle.
we're in the extraction zone. Great. And we got Tali up just in time. We're good. Don't worry about it. Never mind the fact that Rex went down almost immediately after we were non-stop praising his survivability.
Wondering where to start? Talk to one of our associates for anything you need.
Someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Who were those mercenaries? They were heavily armed and had access to C-Sec shuttles.
I don't know. I've never seen them before.
I can't believe you survived all that. They had guns and grenades and those drone things.
Yeah. See, the thing is, we actually didn't survive that for a very long time. It was quite difficult when it was just us, and we were significantly debuffed by the heavy weapon and having 1 bar of health and limited access to grenades and gels and ammo. But, something about C-Sec? Locking down the area, maybe?
It's all right. I'm calling Commander Bailey. See what's going on with CSEC.
Okay, that sounds... Wait! Wouldn't that just make whoever you contact a target too?
She's right, Shepard. Until we know more, it would be a big risk.
I mean,
Okay.
Bailey is
For now, we run
C-Sec.
this
Like,
ourselves.
you're really gonna attack C-Sec?
Right. Ourselves. On our own. Outside the law. Okay. Yeah.
Brooks, you really don't seem to have a chill mode, do you? We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Brooks, it's okay. I know this is a lot to deal with.
I got shot. I got Medigel, but still, I took a desk job explicitly to not get shot. And you killed 100 guys with a pistol!
Well, yes, that did happen.
Sort of.
I mean, who does that? Well, you, I guess. But besides you. They said the Medigel might make me jumpy. Do I seem jumpy?
How did you get mixed
Do
up
we
in
tell her?
this?
I monitored data for Alliance intel to prevent fraud and hacking of officer IDs. Like, someone using an Admiral's pass to get into a nightclub on the Citadel when that Admiral is fighting on Tuchanka. I wrote a tracking program. It's really neat. I named it Mr. Biscuits, after my cat.
Brooks.
Right, sorry. Anyway, my program detected a breach in your classified files. Soon, everything we had on you was compromised. Personnel files, mission reports, everything.
Since when does hacking personnel records involve heavy weapon fire?
Think of what criminals could do if they had Shepard's military access codes. Or Spectre codes, even.
Explains why they need you dead, Shepard. Nothing to stop them till the damage is done.
I guess so?
Okay. Let's figure out who they are and shut them down. Ideas?
What about the pistol you picked up?
For such a tiny thing, it packs a punch. Never seen anything like it before.
Let me see it. I might be able to help. Glyph.
Hey, Liara.
I'll begin collating relevant intel for review, Dr. Tassoni.
Liara?
Shepard.
Good to see you.
Relieved to see you're in one piece. A shame about the sushi.
Very nearly
place, though.
weren't.
It was a favorite.
I hear that.
All right, the hour's on point. What about the rest of the crew?
Yeah, what about those slackers?
Joker, you've been busy.
I found some folks who actually like being shot at.
Permission to come aboard, Shepard.
All right. Now the team's back. Okay, so got some credits, some reputation, some Paragon points, and what looked like, as we've said many times, it should have been quite the simple mission. Not the case. Not the case. At least, not until we were able to team back up with Tali and Rex, and then things started to feel a little more normal. But, whew, that was a close one. That was a close one. For a second there, it looked like we were gonna get stuck. But, now, let's see. Our journal says, identity theft. Liara is looking into the group behind the identity theft and assassination attempt. Speak to her once she's ready. Okay, so let's save. Given now we did just finish all that stuff. And now we're just looking to talk to some teammates who are hanging out around the apartment, and technically speaking, I think there is a little bit of a limited opportunity here to chat with some friends. So, like, Garrus is upstairs, Tally's round down here. Thinking maybe those two are the ones we'd like to prioritize above the others.
Back during my pilgrimage, I used to walk around near that sushi place and watch the fish through the window. I knew they'd never let me inside, but I think to myself, someday, when I've proven my worth to the galaxy, I'll go there for dinner. And then, you broke their floor.
Fine, by the way.
Glad to hear it. Try not to destroy any more of my childhood memories.
Sorry for crushing your hopes and dreams, Tali. Apparently, we did that. Alright, let's try to make a point of talking to Garrus here. Or Javik. Or Rex. Hold on. Try getting to Garrus first.
So, what was it, Shepard? 5 minutes before someone started shooting at you?
Pretty much, yeah.
On the other hand, we get this cool secret hideout to hang out in. Unless the bad guys look in the window.
Shh, don't tell them. Can we talk to him again? Anything else?
How's it going?
Not really.
Bet you never saw a shuttle get taken down like that before.
It was impressive.
I still got it.
It was impressive.
Thought we were done with all the shooting on the Citadel after Cerberus messed the place up. They must want you bad, Shepard. Price of fame, I guess.
Pretty much. Javik?
Commander, in my cycle, when we fled combat by falling through tanks containing aquatic animals, we usually... Oh, right. We never did. You are a trailblazer. Commander?
Not often we hear Javik joking around. Not sure if there's anyone else upstairs, but... Head back down, maybe?
Shepard, I've found something. We can gather the team whenever you're ready.
Okay. Perhaps we do have as much time as we need, though. Chat with other squad mates, like... Tali, anything else?
Hey.
No. Okay. Joker?
Okay, later, when this is over and everything is settled, we are gonna talk about this bait thing.
Right, where we kind of told Joker to get up and attract the attention of those enemies, and got one right next to us so that we could pull off the grab combo.
What's up, Commander?
I've never seen sup spelled that way.
Glad Liara's on this. If anybody can sift through a mountain of boring stuff to find that one critical clue, it's her.
Wow. That's totally not a dig at Liara. Totally not a backhanded compliment.
Hey, Shepard.
How very kind of you, Ashley.
The restaurant attack has made the news. Civilian casualties seem to have been restricted to... fish.
Fish aren't really civilians, Edie.
Hello, Shepard.
Don't know how to break that to you, but I'm afraid your calculations are a little bit off, then.
Nothing beats having a Krogan bodyguard, huh? Had a buddy like that once. No, not so much a buddy, really. More of a prisoner who helped us.
Oh.
It's a long story, man. Anyway, Brooke, she's kind of cute. Think she's on the market?
She seems kind of crazy. Also, I think that reference to the prisoner Krogan, that might even be a callback to Paragon Lost, the movie in which James is featured as the protagonist of, which we talked about a little bit before. So, I think that might be the case. Having to jog my memory a bit about it, but I won't go into too much detail to avoid spoilers. But I don't think that's just a random mention that he just made there.
Shepard.
Okay. That's James. Anyone else we can chat with before we talk to Liara? And if so, where are they hanging out? Talk to James. Oh, Cortez. Hanging out over there.
I'm glad you made it out of that ambush okay. None of us saw that coming. But lesson learned. Never have dinner with Joker.
Not sure that's the takeaway, but sure, if that's what you choose to conclude from all that.
Glad you're okay, Shepard.
Alright, and I suppose... Oh, it's a little quiet in here. Perhaps we hit... Oh! We can't turn on the music? I was gonna say. These people are just hanging around here, minding their own business, and yet... not enough energy in the building, you know? Okay, was there anyone else upstairs, though? We kind of rushed a little bit up here. Didn't check the other rooms. Seen all them. No one raiding our jacuzzi? Good. Good. So, we can actually take a look now, I would think, at the weapons bench. Oh, not here. Pistol is where we will find the weapon that we just picked up, which is the suppressor. As I was saying, we technically had a unique modified version of it that was significantly heavier than the usual suppressor is. Like, I'm actually not sure if this... No, I guess that's the same. Yeah, I think it is about the same weight as the arc pistol, just the arc pistol in this case. Slightly smaller because it's up to rank 5, whereas this is just rank 1. But yeah, so as you can see, still relatively heavy as pistols go, but certainly much lighter, I think, than what we experienced in that first round of the mission. The ammo capacity, a little lacking, which certainly caused some issues on a few occasions there where we were running out quite quickly, especially because its rate of fire is surprisingly fast, and you don't need to fire. I mean, it is semi-automatic. You're not just holding it down and firing away, but you can fire it quite quickly, basically as fast as you can press the fire button. So for that reason, you can blow through that ammo super quickly, although it's a bit of a trap because with the little ammo that it has, it's easy to run out, and it's not really a spray and pray kind of weapon where you just shoot and hope you hit the target, and when you do, you're going to take them out. As much as it functions, or at least in terms of its damage, way better, of course, when you hit people in the head, because that is the ×4 multiplier. So even though you can shoot it a lot faster, it might make sense to treat it more like a sniper rifle and be more precise and line up those headshots, because if you do that, then you may only need 1 or 2 shots to take some people out. And the accuracy it's not perfect. It's another thing. We had a few shots during that previous mission in which we had it lined up for the headshot, but, you know, it went slightly up, down, left, or right, and so we either missed altogether or just didn't land the headshot every now and again. So it's not as precise as a sniper in that way. But if you do land the headshots, is one of the highest, if not the highest damage weapon in the entire game. So for that reason, it does actually have a significant role to play if you would like to use it. Checked in with all of them. Might have poked her right in here. Yeah, it looks like that's just about everybody. Nobody else wants to give us some sassy comments? Shepard, how long did you last at the sushi restaurant just trying to grab a bite to eat before you got attacked and shot at and fell through a fish tank and whatever else went down? Glyph.
I am compiling data on the gun for Dr. Tassoni.
Thank you, Glyph.
She should have the results momentarily.
Great. Brooks?
I'm gonna have to write a report about getting shot. I hear those are really complicated.
It's faster if you make a template.
I think maybe you get shot too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's faster if you make a template if it keeps on happening, but not the first time.